where the f I'm going. Outer space where I'm going. Where I'm going. Where I'm going. Outer space where I'm going. Outer space where I'm going. I'll be up in the way. 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 Running on my face. Gucci guilty on my face. I'll be up in the way. I'll be up in the way. I'll be up in the way. I'll be up in the way.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to the Black Body Man Radio Show with your boy, Brother Mike. I will be your host, and I want to welcome my team member, Mr. Derrick Woodson. How you doing today, Mr. Woodson?
I'm cool. How about yourself, brother?
I'm all right, man. No complaints. Another day in the land of the living. Shout out to my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice, who once again is unable to join us. She's had a little change in her schedule, but she will be back, and we anticipate her return soon. So shout out to you, Miss Janice. I hope you get a chance to tune in a little bit today and see how we still getting down. But yeah, we want to welcome everybody, man, to another episode of the Black Body Man Radio Show. And today's show, we're going to go over a show that we've done before. Last time we did it was back in October, which is about ways you can practice group economics. Because Black Body Demand as a brand is all about group economics. Black is for the people. Buy is how we practice group economics. Demand is for change. So, of course, we want to keep repeating that into our people's heads so we have a full understanding of what group economics is, because everything that we learn through life comes through repetition. So you can't just do one show on how you can practice group economics and expect everybody to get it. So we like to come back and reiterate certain things so we keep that full understanding. So again, welcome back. Today we're going to do 13 ways you can practice group economics. But before we get into it, let's talk about the plugs. So first of all, we want to plug us, blackbodyman.com. Make sure you check us out for our latest apparel. And make sure you also go to patreon.com/brothermikebbd, where you can be a patron for as little as $1 per month and help us out with taking care of all the things that we take care of, from the brand to the radio show to this presentation itself right here. So other than that, I'm going to try to send out some invites so you guys can hang out with us today. Mr. Woodson, what we got going on in current events, man? Anything?
Well, we got the issue with the Jay-Z and the NFL.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Kaepernick, he didn't make so much. He did a slide comment or a slide statement where he basically said to the people, like, kneeling is not over. So he did that. I think it was a cheap shot, me personally.
Okay.
Because both of they both mean well.
Right.
In my opinion.
Things that we take care of.
So the thing is that I think it was a cheap shot, but the problem with us as black people, we understand that we can't get along in certain situations. Like he said, the kneeling, Jay said the kneeling is over. Injustice, Cat saying we should still kneel. Because of the statement he made, he's still fighting.
Okay. How do you think the public is reacting to the whole Jay-Z thing?
To the point where, because as us, even me on the show saying things, I got to remind you what I say, because we as black people, we do research on to slander a brother. We don't research for knowledge. So he had a song, everybody knows, well, I'm not doing NFL, I'm not doing this, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So by him saying that, it's kind of a backlash from him.
Okay.
We don't do the NFL no more, you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. So now they say, okay, so what happened now, Uncle Tom?
Oh, yeah.
See, a lot of people forgot about that, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's what's hurting Jay-Z now, is because of his broad statement.
And let me interject here, right? And this is not to correct you. This is to just give correction to us as a community of people. We often use the word Uncle Tom, but in the novel that it comes from, which is Uncle Tom's Cabin, it's actually Sambo who we're referring to. Uncle Tom is actually the guy who refused to beat the other slaves. It was Sambo who we are referring to when we say Uncle Tom. So it's actually Sambo. So I don't want Uncle Tom to get that bad rep like he's had for years, when in all reality he was the good guy, you know. So it's actually a Sambo. But of course we all know what you're referring to when you say it. So yeah, I think it's interesting the type of responses that have been happening. because I've seen everything from the good to the bad to the ugly in response to what Jay-Z is doing. My personal take is, let's see.
I want to apologize to everybody that my mic wasn't on. So if you didn't hear me, we're talking about Jay-Z.
Yeah, go ahead, reiterate.
Basically, we're talking about Jay-Z and him signing with doing a deal with the NFL, and how Kaepernick basically saying to still continue to need, because his statement he still holds pride to, and he's holding Jay-Z accountable, in other words. Mm-hmm. And what Brother Mike is saying about, they called him Uncle Tom, and he explained to y'all about Uncle Tom and Sambo.
Yeah, it's really Sambo.
Yeah.
Sambo. Uncle Tom was actually the good guy. Uncle Tom refused to beat his own people. But somewhere along the line that got a little confused, so people always refer to Uncle Tom when they're trying to refer to that type of black person that really is about, helping people who are actually part of our oppression, when in all reality it really wasn't him. Yeah, so I'm going to tackle this a little bit. I think the first thing I'm going to say is that, maybe Jay-Z should have chose better words other than the word over. I think people are, and I don't think he meant it like it's over, you know what I mean? Like, we get it. I think he just meant like, okay, we've done that. Now let's move on to step 2,
right? Plan
B, so forth and so on. And I know a lot of people disagree with Jay-Z's move, and I basically can't say who made the right move, who made the wrong move, because these are made by millionaires. So like, who am I to determine how a millionaire moves, right?
Fact.
Right. So fact. I'm just saying. So I just got my opinion and perspective, but I see both sides of the table. I see the side where people are upset because they feel like that Jay-Z is selling out.
Right.
And he's siding up with these people who are, a part of the oppression. But, if that's the case, you can't put that on Jay-Z. That means everybody in the NFL needs to quit. Definitely right. Because, they are the real people who are dealing with this type of level of, oppression or whatever. I think what Jay-Z's trying to do is solve a problem. You get what I mean? Because life is all about problem solving. So maybe we don't agree with the way he's going about solving it, but to me, from a business mind, it seems like Jay-Z's dealing with penetration. Absolutely. Right? He's trying to penetrate the good old boys club. And then, from the inside, I imagine he wants to try to work things. That's going to make it better for us. But one thing's for sure, I think Cap's message was received. I don't know that it necessarily changed police brutality. I would even say that it didn't. Nothing. Right? So with that being said, I can understand why Cap would feel like, the kneeling's not over. But at the same time, Jay-Z seems to be a brother who's tailored towards results. You get what I mean? Right. So I think he's looking at it like, one of us get involved with this and get in here and maybe we can get more results. Mm-hmm. And then I watched Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I think he said something very important. He referenced we have to find out what type of involvement Jay-Z actually has before we jump the gun, because he expressed that when Jay-Z bought the Nets and the whole word went out that Jay-Z owned the Nets, he was like, unbeknownst to the world, he only owned 1/15 of 1% of the Nets. Right. So he really wasn't, this big owner like we all thought he was. So I just try to tend to respect, different approaches on how to deal with things. So Jay-Z's taking an approach that might not be that popular amongst us as a community of people, but at the same time, he's taking steps just like Cap did. Maybe he's doing it a different way. And I believe that us as a community of people, one of the drawbacks that we tend to deal with that nobody speaks on is that a lot of us tend to remain quiet on things until another black person says something or does something. And then all of a sudden we develop an opinion about how they're doing it.
Right.
But a lot of us didn't have an opinion on it at all.
Never will.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think that has to be kept in mind. We can't always just feel like the black person who's doing something is doing it wrong when we weren't doing anything.
Absolutely.
You get what I mean? Like, so many of us don't have anything to say until a black person has something to say. So, right now I think it's kind of going to be a waiting game. Let's just see if Jay-Z's move turned out to be the right move, or, if it didn't. But for now, I have an appreciation as a businessman that he's trying to penetrate the good old boys club.
Yeah, definitely.
You get what I mean? He's trying to penetrate it. So, you know, a lot of times change comes through an active revolution. And at that particular time,
Right.
it's viewed in a certain way. Like when, I think it was Roosevelt, when he first proposed having Social Security, it was the worst thing ever. Like the whole country was against it. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
socialism, this, that, and the third. It was something horrible. But look where we're at today. People would give their left arm to keep their Social Security.
Right.
You get what I mean? So sometimes that person who first kicks in the door,
Plants
instead of
the seed.
recognizing that they kicked in the door, we're too busy worried about the door. Like, well, look, he broke the door. You know, the hinges
Not-
are loose
not
now.
the
It's like,
outcome.
but, you know, he's in there, right? He's in there. So that's kind of my take on it. And we'll just have to wait and see, you know, how things go. I'll read a comment here. Shout out to Naseem Shabazz Bey. He says, MLK said, if all you have is your voice, then speak. Hey, absolutely. You know what? I got to get my bell, brother. You deserve a bell on that. Let me find my bell. Where the bell at? The bell's over here hiding. Let's give Brother Shabazz. There you go, brother.
Shout out to Brother Shabazz.
Yeah, if you got a voice, you should speak. I can personally relate to that because, again, you know, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but I definitely grew up throughout my life, and my voice was not appreciated. It wasn't liked. You understand what I'm saying? I was thought of to be too opinionated and too serious and things of this nature, too talkative. But, you know, I realized that the Most High gave me a voice, so I used it. So here we are today with the Black Bottom Man radio show. So I don't know if they still have that opinion.
Sometimes you got to step outside the box.
Yeah, you got to do you. Jay-Z's doing him.
Russell Ware said 2 points. 2 parts. He said, the part I agree with more about business, not social justice. Then he also said, now would you rather have Social Security or invested in 401k? This is a question.
Right. It's a good question. It's a good question. And that's my whole point. You know, like some things come off in the beginning where people are terribly against it. But I just think as a people, we have to stop sitting back and doing nothing and then complaining when someone steps up to do something about the way that they did it. You don't have a voice if you didn't, you know what I mean, you're not participating.
It's crazy how so many people don't have nothing to say but judgment.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy where, like I said, I don't, like what he said, the statement he said about him not going to supporting the NFL for the halftime show, you know what I mean? I understand how it seems now. The same person that you hate one day, you love him the next.
Right.
I get it. But as a business, as being business savvy and dealing with business, it was a good move.
Right.
It was a good move.
Can't be denied.
Just a month ago, everybody was praising him. He's the first black billionaire rapper.
Right.
It was praised. Now he said, okay, I want to be a trillionaire now.
Right.
You know, so but now everybody's going back to what he said. My thing with that being said is he said the kneeling is not so much being over. You know what I'm saying? He said, let's look past it for a moment and say, okay, what's the problem? The injustice of black men getting slain in the street is the problem.
Right.
So what do we do now? All the naysayers and all this other stuff, what are you going to do in your part? How are you going to do something about it? Sit there and bash him? Talk crazy about him? And you allow the powers that be to say, yeah, he ain't going to make it nowhere. His own people don't even like him.
Right. Right.
So how does that make you look? A man says, okay, we know the problem. Now how can we fix it? Instead of fixing it, y'all condemn the person who's trying to fix it to where it doesn't go anywhere. And this could be your brother, this could be your father, this could be your son, your cousin, nephew, whoever, get shot. Now you're going to be an activist now.
Right.
It got to hit home for you to get it.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's got to hit home. You know, I just think sometimes we have to get away from being so quick to judge each other, you know, because a lot of the people that have this opinion about Jay-Z being a sellout, so forth and so on, it's like, what role do you play in the conscious community? You get what I'm saying? Like so many people are not even a part of the conscious community, not a part of trying to do anything to better things for the black community. But there you are with the judgment, like, well, he's wrong for this, he's wrong for that. So I just try to look at both sides of the table, see it from a business perspective. What Cap did was honorable. Did it get us results? No. I mean, it didn't. You know, it got some attention. I mean, let's just be real. You know what I mean? You know, it's going to take more than kneeling to get the results that we want in regards to police brutality. But it's a great start, you know. So I love the Cap did it, took a stand. I mean, but if we're going to get into being, you know, judgmental, then you got to include Cap in that too, because he didn't exactly do that for free. You know, he got $6 million from Nike. You get what I'm saying? So again, you know, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich. I'm not even close, you know. So I struggle with trying to have an opinion about what rich people do with their money and how they how they do their businesses, right? You know, Jay-Z's out of my league. You know, I'll tell you this much. If Jay-Z called Brother Mike and said, come on, I want you to sit in on this meeting I'm having with the NFL, hey, I'm going, okay? Y'all can be mad all you because
it's business.
I'm going, it's business. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, if I could be part of the penetration, I can get in there and then do my Brother Mike thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being real. I'm going, you know, like, I'm going. I'm sorry. So I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. So I'll read a comment here. This is from Mr. Leroy McKenzie. Shout out to JNF Enterprises, #BPM. So Leroy says, Jigga is playing chess, not checkers. I believe he could be positioning himself to buy a team. There are businessmen and then there are businessmen. There is a difference. Creating leverage is how you have economic empowerment. Mr. McKenzie, thank you very much. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what I'm saying. If you deal with people who understand business, what we see is power moves. I mean, we see power moves. We see a good old boys club and Jay-Z saying, hey, I'm about to penetrate this. Right. You know what I mean? I'm going to penetrate this, and then maybe I can, you know, do some work from the inside. Like Mr. McKenzie said, he might be making moves to own a team one day. So what's going to happen if 10 years from now, Jay-Z owns a team, and then that team's getting treated better through the pay scale, so forth and so on? Then we're all going to clap. Oh, he's a hero.
Of course we are.
You get what I mean?
And people don't remember when Puffy tried to buy. Puffy was trying to get, I think, with the Carolina Panthers, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And he was trying to get them.
Okay, look, we up on our first break. This was getting good. Stay with us. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are talking 13 ways to practice group economics. We'll be back.
Peace.
Yeah, we getting good.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it, because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'ma show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man. I am Gas, by the way.
Strong woman
The story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Alright, welcome back everybody to the Black Body Man Radio Show. Today we are talking 13 ways you can practice group economics. But we were still on current events. This whole Jay-Z Kaepernick situation definitely has gotten people stirred up a little bit. And we appreciate that, so we want to hear you guys' input about this particular situation. Make sure you guys check out our sponsors in the comments. We want to plug that real quick. If you guys are interested in becoming a sponsor with your business of the Black by Demand Radio Show, you can contact us at Black by Demand, the number 4 and the letter U, at gmail.com. That's blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. And again, make sure you check out our sponsors. So yeah, I'll get back to a few of the comments here. Mr. McKenzie says, Jay has done too much for the community for folks to say he's a sellout. Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. You know, like he's done a lot. You know, like everybody's not going to always make moves that you particularly like. But let's not throw this man out the window. And Mr. McKenzie also says Cap took a settlement too. You get what I'm saying? So they're forgetting that part. You know, Kaepernick took a settlement too. Kaepernick is not hurting through this. Like people are focusing on, well, he doesn't have his job anymore. When Nike gives you $6 million for one deal, I mean, do you need a job? Your job is figuring out how to deal with that money. You get what I mean?
Right.
Like that is your job. That is your job. But yeah, you guys can let us know what you think about that. But we'll go ahead and we'll just go and get started with this show. And if we get a chance to get back around to some of these current events, we'll tap in on it again. So anyway, today's show is 13 ways you can practice group economics. So let me go over exactly what group economics is for you guys. All right, so group economics can be defined as one group of people who have a common economic interest. That group agrees to actively and consciously pursue that economic interest together to create a sustainable and secure economy for themselves. Group economics, or economics, however you choose to pronounce it, is not new. Many communities in America practice this strategy. The Jewish community, the Asian community, the Italian communities, all practice group economics. It is a form of self-preservation. Group economics was used successfully by black communities from the 1890s to the 1920s, such as Black Wall Street. So in layman's terms, what that basically means is you want to control the circulation of your dollar. Group economics deals with you spending money with your people. So if you are Italian, you spend money with Italian businesses. If you are Asian, you spend money with Asian businesses. If you are Black American, you spend money with Black American businesses, such as blackbodyman.com. Make sure you check us out for your apparel. So this is what group economics is all about. And when you do this, it promotes a better community. First of all, the businesses get to grow, which means they can hire more black people, right? And they can contribute to giving back to the community. You're teaching it to the kids. They get to see you making a deal about how a percentage of your money needs to be spent with your own people. That way your people stay competitive as a group of people in a society that is broken up into sections of communities of people. There's black people, there's white people, there's Asian people, there's Jewish people. Okay? It's not that anyone has to hate each other, but everybody plays for their team except us. Okay? We want to play for everybody else's team. Got to play for your team also. You can do what you want with other teams, but Jewish people understand they got to play for the Jewish team. White people play for the white team. We need group economics amongst black people. So we play for Team Black, you know. We Team B, they Team A, you know.
So forth and so on.
Absolutely. You're assigned a team. Gorillas know what team they're on.
Right.
Deers know what team they're on. All animals know what team they're on. So this is what group economics is all about. You know, you helping to keep your community growing and prospering by making sure you spend money with the local businesses owned by your people. All right, so let's get into number one. Number one of the 13 ways to practice group economics is with a product or service, which is what we was just discussing. Black by Demand, we have products. We have our apparel, which is shirts that not only promote, practice, and encourage group economics, but you will actually be practicing it if you purchase a shirt from blackbydemand.com. All right, so a product is any physical item that you can create or sell. Look around you, everything is a product that someone else has created. You can do the same. A service is any skill you possess that the market needs and is willing to pay for. Plumbers, mechanics, HVAC, barbers, tattoo artists, computer programmers, and painters all have skills the market is willing to pay lots of money for. So the first one is a product or service. So this is probably number one for a reason. It's probably the best route to get group economics started. I'm a barber. I cut everybody's hair, but I also cut black people's hair. So that is group economics, right? For those who come to me and get their hair cut, they're practicing group economics. We have the Black by Demand brand. You know, black is for the people, buy is how we practice group economics, demand is for change. But listen to what buy is for. Buy is how we practice group economics, right? So the brand itself is all about group economics, and that was the whole point of creating it. So can you think of offhand products and services that deal with group economics? Well, we go on the Water for Chocolate after we leave here. It's a black-owned restaurant, very good food. Check it out here in Baltimore City. Group economics. Yeah. Shout out to Chef Guy, group economics. I order black soaps. I order tooth powder from Gardeners.com, where they got natural deodorant, natural tooth powders. These are all black-owned products. Shout out to Kamose, where I get my shea butter from my man Kareem. I can go on and on. Like I purposely go out the way to try to find black businesses where I can practice group economics. Can you think of any offhand?
I just ordered some stuff called Etsy. It's dealing with like black people dealing with like certain toxic to clean the black man out, toxins and stuff like that.
Nice, nice.
I gotta get myself in order, because in order for me to pass the message off to someone else, I have to practice the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
You know, so
I'll read a comment here. This is Miss Talisha Johnson. She says, "I love Black by Demand t-shirts. They're very comfortable." Well, thank you, Miss Johnson. You get a bell for that. I agree. They are very comfortable.
And plus, they have a statement. You know.
Yes.
And I remember, for those who know, in the Harford County area, they have Black Friday. Not Black Friday, but First Friday.
First Fridays.
And I felt comfortable, you know, and in the areas that I was in, you know, I was kind of like very small in this area, you know what I'm saying, concerning the people. So I had my Black by Demand shirt on, and I walked through the middle of the crowd. I felt good about myself because it made a statement to people, let them know that where I am and where I stand.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's something to be proud of. You can know that not only with a Black by Demand t-shirt did you purchase it from a black-owned company, but the brand itself was actually designed for you. Now, when I say for you, I mean black people who support black businesses. If you are white, if you are Asian, if you are Jewish, but you believe in supporting black businesses, the way that we support your business, a Black by Demand t-shirt is for you as well, because it's for those who believe in supporting black businesses.
Absolutely.
So you can feel good about it. You know, like the shirts and clothing that we buy, majority of it is not made by us. So we're supporting their businesses. So we definitely employ everyone else to support us as well. I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, definitely. I see so many people that will literally go broke. And to make this point known, it's school time.
It
I
is.
want to see how many women and men spend all this money in these different places.
Yes.
They don't care nothing about it. They made their racist statements. They made their broad statements. I want to see how many little kids 7 years old in Gucci got.
Yes. What better way to make a statement that you love your people and you believe in group economics than to have your first day of school be with a Black by Demand t-shirt or a Black by Demand hoodie, you know, however you like to flip it. So number one is a product or service. To all of our audience members today, if you guys got any products or services that you patronize that are black owned, feel free to type it in. We'd love to give a shout out to that particular company. We'll move on to number two here. So number two is open an online store. Once you have created products to sell, or you found someone who is willing to wholesale the product to you, open an online store. By operating an online store, you will have access to the entire world of customers. You will need to package and ship products in a timely manner when orders roll in. But if other people have done it and making a living at it, you can too. In order to open an online store, you will need to buy a domain for your hosting. You may want to purchase a domain from somebody like GoDaddy.com. Domain names can run from $1 to $13 per year. Buying your domain will ensure no one steals your idea, and it is a very important first step in getting started. So, if you have a business out there, you sell t-shirts, you sell African art, you sell paintings, I don't know, you sell nail polish, whatever, oils, right? You can get an online store. You know what I mean? You can get an online store. You can become a sponsor here at the Black by the Man Radio Show. We will plug your business. Again, you can email us at blackbytheman4u@gmail.com. That's blackbytheman, the number 4, and the letter U at gmail.com, and we will help promote your business. This is what group economics is all about. This is why I love doing these shows, because this is the core of Black by Demand. This is why it's the Black by the Man Radio Show. It's all about group economics, constructive conversations. So off the top of my head, we got the blackbytheman.com store online. You got stores like WeBuyBlack.com, right? Kim Osei, you understand what I mean? He's not .com, I don't think. I think he's I'll get back to you, but he's not .com. But you can look him up as well. Most of the black-owned brands and stuff do have something online where you can connect with them and kind of look at their store, so forth and so on. Here recently, I've been looking at some hats, some different brothers who make different hats. I won't put them out there quite yet, but they got a nice online store for products and clothing and apparel that's made by Black Americans. So that's awesome. Any stores offhand?
I got a couple friends on Instagram. There's I'm looking them up now. I thought I'd screenshot it. Well, they're selling sneakers.
Okay.
Black owned, selling their sneakers and stuff like that. But the thing about it, I applaud these brothers for doing this. But the sad thing about them is that brothers out there who trying to sell sneakers, it's not Nike.
Right.
It's not Reebok. It's not that.
Right.
But the sneakers are actually dope, man. If I could get
absolutely
get on here and find them.
I'll read a comment. Mr. McKenzie says, "What was number one, brother?" Number one was produce a product or service. Produce a product or service. And speaking of number one, Black by Demand is the number one brand for group economics. We are proud of that. We get a bell on that, right?
That's right.
We are the number one brand for group economics. So that is our lane. We are the top brand for group economics. So please make sure you support us so we can stay the number one brand. We're the ones who got into this game and began to try to educate those who weren't aware about group economics. So yes, we are very, very proud of that. Very proud.
And a female on my, I gotta get her name. I think her and I'm gonna make sure I say this right. Her boyfriend or husband started a business called Boss Burgers.
Boss Burgers, okay.
Burgers pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, Mr. McKenzie wants to know the name of that sneaker company you were speaking on.
Getting on right on time.
He's looking that up right now, brother. Yes, number one was produce a product or service. So I'll move on to number 3 while Mr. Woodson's looking that up. So number 3 is host community events. Host community events, potlucks, local group economics, community yard sales, and other events that teach the rest of the community to put these tips into practice. Find a community center, Boys and Girls Club, or school with an auditorium or gym to get to work. The more people to see their community coming together, the more they will be willing to participate. Schools are particularly receptive to farmers markets, setting up on school grounds on the weekends, so turn it into an event, an opportunity to make things happen. Absolutely, I just hosted an event. It's been about 2 weeks ago now. It was the second inaugural District A Community Health Fair by the Boys and Girls Club in Edgewood, Harford County, sponsored by Councilman Andre Johnson. So shout out to Councilman Andre Johnson, as well as Delegate Steve Johnson and Miss Bridget Martin. We thank you guys for letting Brother Mike host it, and we had a great time. It was something out there for the kids. We had Spider-Man walking around. We had an outdoor movie. There was vendors. It was great. So this fits right in with hosting community events. So that's always a wonderful way to communicate with people. So let's read another comment here. All right, Ms. Johnson says, it's sad to say that prior to the Black by the Man radio show, I didn't make any effort to support black-owned businesses. I didn't realize how important it is for our growth within our community. Thank you, brothers, for sharing some real knowledge. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that compliment. That is definitely what we want to hear. We're interested in making sure that we communicate a different thought process. We're trying to stimulate a different thought process for our people. And at the same time, we try to make it a little fun. We still got some stuff with us.
As it should.
As it should.
I'm in trouble.
So yeah, hosting community events. So that was the last community event that I was a part of. I'm looking forward to being part of a few more. And as a member of BPM, we actually do all kinds of community events. So shout out to my brothers at BPM. Looking forward to seeing everybody on the 23rd. We'll be in DC with Google Talks. You know, I'm going to say that again. We be in DC with Google. You know, we're going to have a rooftop event where it's kind of going to be like a meet and greet. It's going to be an awesome experience. If anyone's interested in learning more about that, again, you can hit me up at blackbydemand4u@gmail.com.
For everybody that tuned in, since I can't find it on my either on my page or on the Black by Demand, I will post what the name is and the shoes. The shoes are pretty cheap. They're nothing. They're not even $50.
Nice.
They're dope shoes. They're not even $50.
Nice. Now let's talk about that for a second. You remember Stephen Marbury?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm about to say, right? I think one of the things we got to get past is thinking that something is not of good quality because it's not $1,000. You get what I mean?
Fact.
Stephen Marbury was a great example of that, where he had his sneakers made in the same factory as the Air Jordans by the same people with the same materials, but he sold them for like $30, $20, $30 or whatever, and we just didn't bite on it because, you know, too many of us tend to respect a higher dollar amount.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if we say it's only $84, we don't think it's worth nothing. You know, if we say it's $1,884, then too many of us is like, oh yeah, I want to get that.
Right.
It must be about something if they're charging that much.
Exactly.
And a lot of the times that's not the case.
And it's the same material. It takes, I think, years ago they stated it takes $30 to make the Michael Jordan shoe. 30. So just to go to show you paying $30. It actually,
I thought it was less than that.
Probably is. So I gave out like $30, and he's charging almost $200 a sneaker.
Wow.
You can invest in black for $50.
That's a serious come up. But stay with us. We're up on another break. It's the Black by the Man radio show. We are talking 13 ways you can practice group economics. We'll be back.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up, you gotta go hard. Don't let it. Can you imagine how really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, it's cause my father did. Moms bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they love to hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall, then get your mash on. Fix your vision on the future like it's fast forward. The world is yours in due time, ain't gotta ask for it.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hosting community events, and I brought up the last event I was a part of, which was great, which was in Harford County, held by Councilman Andre Johnson in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club in Edgewood, also known as the Keystone Club. And it was great. We had the Edgewood Middle School Choir, Gospel Choir, perform a couple selections. We had a young man that played the cello. I'm going to say that again. We had a young black man, young guys only probably 10, 11 years old, played the cello. When's the last time you heard the cello? Hello.
I don't think I heard it. As far as we got with the trumpet.
You know, so it was really, really nice. All right, let's move on to number 4, though. So number 4 is using black directories. There are seriously thousands of black business directories in existence. These directories range from the local to the global and feature literally thousands of businesses. Why aren't you using them? Many of these directories have mobile device apps or are mobile friendly and let you search using zip code to find the closest black business to you. All right, so I like the black directories. You know what I mean? This was actually a part of the first attempt with Black by Demand, you know, was to make it a black directory where we have black businesses sign up to advertise on blackbydemand.com. Okay. Our t-shirts and apparel was one of the businesses on there, you know what I mean? So we're selling it like that. And I think we might have been a little ahead of the game on that, so we didn't really get too many people that kind of understood it. So we eventually switched over to where it just sells the apparel. But that's the .com. We plan on bringing back the black directory for Black by Demand, and it's going to be blackbydemand.net, you know what I mean? So we own the .net as well. So blackbydemand.net will be the next black directory where we get businesses to sign up for a small price, advertise your business on it, so that way we got a place that we can go to. If people say, you know, where can I find a black business? Hey, go to blackbydemand.net and see if it's anything in your area, so forth and so on. So directories are pretty cool. Do you have any experience with using a directory before?
Directory, yes, but not for overall just black.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which means it's a need for it.
It definitely is
It's a need for it. Yeah, that's why we're still holding on to that ideal as well. So use black directories if you have access to one. You may have to go online and kind of Google to find one. But don't worry, we're going to get you straight with blackbydemand.net. Soon we'll have one for you.
And the sad thing about it, it probably got one right around the corner from your house.
Right.
You never noticed it. With the mama, son, and all them stores over.
Right. Never even do it. All right, so let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is create community gardens. Start planning and gathering everything you will need for planting in the springtime during the fall and winter months. If you're getting started in the spring, there are fall and winter crops that you can grow and either eat, sell, or turn into a product to other members of the community. Community gardens also create opportunities to get the kids and the elderlies in your community engaged in activities. The mothers in nursing homes would appreciate being able to get back outside or the opportunity to create products with fresh ingredients. Community gardens, they did this in the Ville before. Yeah, they did this in the Ville. So in the Ville where I'm from, in Harford County, they took a section over by the basketball court.
Right. I remember.
This is before they put the playground there.
Wow.
Right. So it was a community garden, collard greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, things like that. And true to nature, just like the research says, it was elderly folks out there, because this is up their alley. They grew up, you know, maintaining gardens with the collard greens in it, right, and all that good stuff. So it went well for a little while, and I guess over time I guess people just didn't upkeep it enough. It eventually faded out, and they built a playground. You know, but it was there for a minute, so I definitely know that this does help, you know, everything from getting the elderly active to teaching the children how to grow fresh food to having access to fresh food. Like I remember certain seasons of the year coming around and people going down into the garden to get some fresh collard greens, you know, for to be cooking with. So yeah, that definitely works.
Plus it'll get the kids out of the street, give them something to do.
Give them something to do.
You know, help them with certain things.
something different to learn.
And help the elderly, you know, get them outside. You can get the trash up. You can help them rake. You can help them do all types of things.
Yeah, I planted a garden before. I had a little garden in the back of my house. I was growing some peppers. I grew some green onions, peppers. I had tomatoes. What else did I have? Oh, herbs. I had herbs. So I had like thyme and sage and mint and some herbs, and it was pretty cool. The rain kept flooding it out.
Oh, wow.
Because of where it was located at. So I was learning, right?
Right.
You know, it's a little hill, and it was at the base. So every time it rained, all the water was flooding down the hill, and it kept killing the garden and flooding it out. So between the rain and then the rabbits,
yeah,
the rabbits was eating my food, right? I had to
free
go
lunch.
get some chicken wire, you know what I mean? Like I went down in Aberdeen to the spot right over there across from the olive tree. It's a little spot over there. Little spot over there, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like a tractor pull spot or something like that. Went in there and got some chicken wire. But it was cool. But I'll tell you what I learned through that flooding. Onions don't die. Like the garden was flooded out, but the onions were still good. I was pulling the onions up like, oh, the onions are still good. Right. So anyway, I've done it before. But stay with us. We up on another break. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We'll be back. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Listen to this flashback of Skyline Radio Show.
So where we at? Where we talk about the effects and what's going on in these schools, and what people don't understand. Just real briefly, I just want to talk a little bit about what people say bullying is or is not. So bullying comes in many forms. It's a teasing, it's the cyberbullying, it's the texting, it's the phone calls, it's the posting of pictures and people's personal information to pretty much cause them harm, to have them feel insecure. It's the sex assaults that people actually put out there. There are physical assaults, and there are mental assaults and emotional assaults. And what I like to remind individuals that any aggressive behavior towards anyone that is unwanted and unwarranted, and an individual asks you to stop. Let's stop there. Stop.
And they should be respecting that.
Respecting that and respecting yourself, because when you're able to respect another person, you're able to respect yourself. And the way that you're able to show that respect is that you know that you have a gift and you know you're uniquely made and that you matter, and then you also acknowledge that the next person beside you matters as well.
Right.
You know, and we lose that sometimes. Bullying is a behavior that underestimates the lives and legacy of you. I'm sure when they was bullying me, and I'm sure when they was bullying you, they didn't understand who you're going to become later on. I didn't know.
Right, because I'm popping. I can't. All right, let me tell you, all those people who felt like they wanted to say whatever to me, look at me now. It's like, no, y'all don't understand, but I've been through some things, okay?
And you know what? No, I applaud you and I salute you, because a lot of times we do not take the time to say, I'm okay, and I'm okay with me, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm amazing, and I'm blessed, and I'm strong, and I matter.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Skyline Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. We just went over number 5, which was
create community gardens. So if you have a green thumb and you know something about gardening, you could get this started in your community. It would help the elderly get outside. I'm sure they want to get out there and help you. It also would be something good to teach children. And it's good to know how to grow your own food, because the reality is we're completely dependent upon dominant society to feed us.
And it's not good.
It's not good. If the supermarket closes, we're all in trouble.
Especially I seen the one video where they stretch the lettuce. How can you stretch lettuce?
Right, yeah. That's the other issue, fake stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake stuff out here. So yeah, I implore you to do that if you got a green thumb and you know a little something. It's becoming a lost art. There was a time where everybody had people in their family that knew how to grow collard greens, tomatoes, corn, all kinds of stuff.
Canned fruit.
You know. I had a grandmother, my father's mother, right, Havre de Grace, when she had a grapevine and she used to make jams and jelly. She even made wine. Grandma made a little wine. Sip a little wine, get on the piano, play a little gospel music. So, these are lost art forms that we definitely need to get back within our control of knowing how to do things. You know what I mean? Again, when I did my little garden, I enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
Therapeutic.
It was therapeutic. I was taking care of it like they were children.
Yeah.
Going out back, checking on my garden. Yeah. Them rabbits messing with y'all. We put this chicken fence up.
Plus it mends bridges with families. It brings families together. It shows people how we can be, especially in neighborhoods that where, this person's on that side, this person's on that side. So when you come up with something that involves everybody, it builds a community, because the community's involved.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good thing.
It is, absolutely. Good afternoon to Miss Niecy Taylor Woodruff. Thank you for joining us today. All right, we're going to move on to number 6. So number 6 is start making and selling your own clothes and accessories. That gets me excited, right? This is BBD, baby. Starting a small t-shirt business doesn't take a master's in business. What it does require is effort, passion, and faith. Qualities most of us have in one way, shape, or form. Use graphic designers like Fiverr for affordable and professionalism, and sites like Teespring and Shopify to launch your website. So this is big. You know what I mean? Like, my dream is to have, Black by Demand be this complete expanded line of clothing. You know what I mean? Where you got BBD t-shirts, BBD pants, hats, so forth and so on. So right now we are just at t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have a polo. We do have a polo with our brand picture art, embroidered in it. So that's a big step for us. You know what I mean? So when you see us rocking that, we're actually rocking our own polo, and I've worn it a couple times here on the show. But clothing is important because we love the clothing we wear, but at the end of the day, it's not made by us. It is normally European clothing.
Absolutely.
Which means it was made in China. Right?
Yeah.
And when you have your own clothing line, it can be tailored towards your culture. So this is one of the things, say, like when you look at African clothing, right? You know what I mean? See, it's tailored towards their culture.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Dashikis, certain type of patterns. We're all familiar with the Kenya pattern with the orange, you get what I mean? So, we should have our own things like that as well. So, so one day, Black by Demand will have, a particular look that people will say, oh, that's Black by Demand.
Right.
I can tell from the pattern.
Stand out.
Right, I can tell from the pattern, because it's a Black-owned clothing brand. So, so opening your own clothing brand and selling T-shirts. And a lot of us do sell T-shirts.
See, the thing about it is that when you have
in the streets,
you're trying to, and I was trying to run away from this thing, but I couldn't. When you're trying to promote yourself and you're trying to establish yourself, you should go to your own people and get the support. But it's sad when you go to your own people, you don't get the support. You get the support from the other people that will contribute to you.
True.
And this is why so many businesses fail, because you get discouraged, because the shirt is for the people. So when you go to people, look, man, can you buy my $15, $20 shirt? They'll say no and spend $50 on another T-shirt.
Sure.
When you can get two. I don't understand the logic of that.
So, ignorance is bliss.
So for the smaller entrepreneurs who are starting out with one T-shirt, stay steadfast. It might not work overnight. It might take you 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, it may take several years.
Yeah, but don't give up just because your people won't support you.
BBD, we're in our 2nd year. And we still don't receive the support that we would like to, but we are just thrilled about the support we do receive.
Absolutely.
So, for those who don't support, we implore you to support. We're doing it for you. You know what I mean? But hopefully, eventually, you reach a point of maturity and wisdom, and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when you decide you want to support BBD, because it's all good. It's all good.
I don't want
It's not against anyone else. It's just simply for us.
I don't want to seem like the negative person in the room, but I just get bothered because I can see you going into a liquor store spending $35, $40 on liquor and beer. I can see you buying 2 or 3 packs of cigarettes. I can see you going to the weed man and spending, how y'all people call it, the Vicks, and you can get all these different things that can cause hardship to your body. Now, I'm no saint. I'm getting twisted by far.
Right.
I'm just making a point that you can spend frivolous money with this individual person instead of supporting a benefit.
Yes.
You know, the way you can make a statement. Try this on for size. You got a pack of cigarettes in your pocket that you don't see. It hurts you and it'll cause a hardship. But you have a shirt on that makes a statement that you should be proud of. And you're supporting someone, you're supporting a brand. So do the math.
Right.
You got something in your pocket that no one can see. People are going to get it from you because they don't want to pay the amount of money for it, so they're going to borrow it from you.
Right.
So get something that means something, a statement that is broad.
Right.
So I'd rather you keep it 100 and say, look, I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, something that's made for you. You know what I mean? Like BBD is made for our people and those who support black businesses. I just watched an interview on the Breakfast Club of Charlamagne the God. I don't know who the brother was, but he has a clothing line and he had his sneakers and stuff up. And he made a statement. He said they asked him what was the biggest threat to a black-owned business. And he said black people.
Yes, he did. I caught that.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
yes,
right?
He
He said black people, and it was interesting, his perspective, because he was like, black people are the biggest threat to black-owned businesses because they don't support, or they want it for free, or they critique it, you understand what I mean? Tell other people not to buy it. And I definitely felt your pain on that, brother. So that's something we want to get away from. We want to bring about this new age of black Americans who think differently and understand that we must support each other. And then one of the big things, and I'll sidebar this with group economics, is within this society, you don't have power without economics. So let me give you an example. When you see a black person get mowed down in the streets by the police, shot in their back, whatever, killed, choked out, right? We as a community of people don't have economic power. And that's why no punishment goes to the people who have done it. Now, if they would have did that to an Arab or did that to an Asian person, and you already know if they did it to a white person, right? So I don't even need to tell you that story. But let's just say an Arab or Asian person, right? Repercussions would have had to been issued on that cop because they have economic power.
Yes, they do.
They can say, we're going to shut down the gas stations. We're going to shut down the Chinese restaurants. We're going to shut down, the Asian beauty supply. They have economic power. That economic power they gained from supporting their own businesses. Okay, so when you don't have anything that can force the hand of dominant society, you know what I mean, where you can say, like, as black people, we should have been able to say, if you don't give justice to these black people that were murdered injustly, you know what I mean, we're not buying any more Nikes. We're not buying any more products from here or from there. That's where we could have been powerful. You get what I mean? But we don't particularly have this education, so I like to kind of bring it up from time to time. So practicing group economics and supporting black businesses also will give your community more power, where we can make a difference. Where we can say, if you don't give us justice, we're going to hurt you financially. Because in America, the numbers is what counts.
Exactly.
If you ain't got no numbers.
And we spend the most frivolous money.
Yes, 1.6 trillion.
I just watched the other day where a young black man, I don't know if he plays soccer, I think he plays soccer or something like that. He went and spent $500,000 on an anime cartoon character.
Wow.
$500,000.
Wow.
I want to get a shout out right fast to Nisha Hope. Ordered a t-shirt last Friday. Thank you, sister. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, Nisha.
And to Sonia J. Jones, she said, great black-owned business out in South Carolina, if I'm saying this right. Gregory Silva, I think it's Sylvia. Stop by Michael Kors and Coach purses and jewelry. I give them out at Christmas in my suit.
Hey, nice. That's what we talking about. This is how we will develop power when things don't go right for us. We might not always have to kneel. We can just say, we ain't, doing this no more. We're not buying that no more until you give us correction. Absolutely.
It's sad, because I see if you take 10 rappers It just came out in the last, say, 2 years. They probably spent over $50 million in jewelry.
Right.
Just 10.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about the rest of them do it.
Right.
I'm talking about from the 18-year-olds to the maybe about 25, 26. They spend $50 million, guaranteed.
Right. Right.
Some of them in their mouth.
Right.
$1 million in their mouth.
Absolutely.
And there's about 1 million kids who's hungry. And you fill your mouth with $1 million.
With $1 million of diamonds. Talisha Johnson says a good example of that is black people who still support Gucci. I agree. You know what I mean? I was in the mall, Towson Town Center, for those familiar with the area. This is probably 2 months ago at the cologne counter inside Macy's. And the brother was showing me different colognes. So he went over this whole spiel of showing me Gucci Black, you know, which I personally like. You know, I used to wear Gucci Black. And I told him, yeah, I'm familiar with it. And he said, well, you know, we got the other one here. You know, this is the new one, this and the third. So I stopped him and said, look, brother, I don't mean to be rude. I don't support Gucci. And he was like, no. I said, no, because of the situations that happen. You know, like I know I'm small. I might not make that big of a difference. But, you know, I stand on something.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I just was in there yesterday. Same brother. I think he completely forgot about our conversation. He was trying to show me a new Gucci product. And I let him talk. I was like, brother, you don't remember me? He's like, yeah, I remember you. I said, well, you don't remember when I explained to you I don't support Gucci? He's like, yeah, you did say that. I said, you know, it just is what it is, man. You know, like, I can't act like I go hard on everything, you know what I mean, because I don't. But with that one with Gucci, I just think we spend too much money with Gucci and have, right? We made Gucci what they was. Gucci might have been something amongst the WASP, the elite, but on a street level, on an average American level, nobody rocked no Gucci. We did that with our R&B and our rappers, so forth and so on. So how dare you treat us that way when we're the reason that your sales went from here to there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what I mean? So with Gucci in particular, the way we promote Gucci, the way all the famous black people love Gucci, this is Gucci, that's Gucci, my belt's Gucci, my slippers are Gucci, you know what I mean? My flops are Gucci. And then Gucci's gonna treat us like this? No, I'm never supporting Gucci again. I'm sorry. Like, I'll forgive H&M before I forgive Gucci. And H&M had a monkey sweatshirt on, right? But at least with H&M, though I know they know, but at least they could say, it was our marketing department, we fired that person. Gucci can't do that. You know what I mean? Gucci is a high-level brand. Ain't nothing coming through Gucci that they didn't mean to come through Gucci.
Or, for example, with Versace, I watched a video on 50 Cent. He had the shirt, he had the belt, he had the shoes, and he had the car.
Absolutely.
And all he could say was Versace.
Right. And when they have these situations where they display their true cards, this is what they do. You know, this is why you got ignorant black people like Floyd Mayweather talking about, I wear Gucci anytime I want. I ain't got no problem with Gucci. You know, this, that, and the third. And like, even if that was his true stance, right? Shut up. You don't have to come tell us that. You know what I mean? You don't have to get on TMZ and promote how you still deal with Gucci. You know, like the Floyd Mayweather thing, man. Like, I respect Floyd as a boxer.
Right.
But I don't respect him at all as a black man.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Like, come on, y'all just too much, man.
And Lil Wayne,
you know,
it's
too much. It's too much.
He doesn't feel like the black grief. He's a rapper.
Right.
He don't feel like he's not from New Orleans no more. So he don't see his people suffering. And that's the problem with the entertainers. And that's the problem with the people who, first of all, y'all don't have entertainment money. Let's clear that up.
Right.
So if you're out there selling drugs, getting this Gucci belt, when you go in, this is coming from a person who's been there before. When you go in there with your Gucci belt, it's theirs. When you go in there with your Gucci shoes, it's there. You might get it back after doing 25, 30 years.
Right.
And then when you come home, like myself, I'm going to give you an example. I went in wearing Rockefeller, wearing academics and all. I came home, they laughed at me talking about getting a Rockefeller sweater. So don't believe the hype for a minute. You go in, Gucci is on top. You come out, you don't know what you're wearing.
You know? I just think that was too much. It was too much. Like I need more than just an apology. I needed you to do something for black people. I want to hear you donated to something, something to make us feel like you really feel remorseful about, making such statements, man, because that's ridiculous. But yeah, the dude tried to sell me some more Gucci cologne, and it smelled good, but I was just like, I can't do it, man. Like I'm going to feel a certain way with Gucci sitting on my dresser, knowing how these people get down.
And they put a ski mask with red lips.
Yeah, see, Come on, that's just too much.
But I bet all you guys out there,
right,
supporting this.
Yeah, they Gucci down. But you know what? That's enough about Gucci. We ain't giving you no more press time. Stay with us though. We up on another break. It's the Black Body Man Radio Show. We'll be back.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. Yeah, you know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up.
Allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism of a Perry show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn because I'm gonna make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have Nots to be like 5% shorter each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this. You don't have to talk about the random plant in the corner for 25 minutes on one damn scene.
They talk about random plants.
It was a blood stain on the floor for 5 episodes. I can't take it. We need to kick this up. I'm sorry. I love the Have and the Have Nots, and I continue to watch in its 5th season. But I get so mad when I can go get myself a glass of water and come back, and he had just started the next sentence in his first paragraph. I can't stand it.
They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So, now according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely false.
What was that? That was your Tyler Perry impression? Oh, God. What?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Acknowledge our sponsors. Our sponsors for this particular show is the iCar Foundation, the Debonair Club, Pure Potential Enterprises, Blondie's Donuts, Perfect Office Solutions, Black Trivia Network, African American Culture Festivals, Citywide Mobile Dry Cleaning, and my man, Mr. Leroy McKenzie with J&F Enterprises. We want to thank you guys for being sponsors of the Black by Demand Radio Show. And again, if you have a business or you just want to be a sponsor of the Black by Demand Radio Show, make sure you contact us at blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. That's blackbydemand, the number 4, the letter U @gmail.com. All right, so let's move on to number 7. So number 7 is Source Black-Owned Products. Find low-price products from black vendors and sell them for market value. If you can find a vendor in Liberia selling wood carvings for $10 and the store around the corner is selling them for $50, you have found an opportunity. Buy low and sell high. Use sites like Alibaba.com and use Google searches to find suppliers. So source black produced products. Yeah, this is simple. When I got our Black Body Man t-shirts in the first store, that's what it was. You know, I sell them to them at a wholesale price and allow them to sell it at the retail price. So this is a very simple way to practice group economics. Source black-owned products. All right, let's go on to number 8. So number 8 is find and join a black bank, which I've done. I'm a proud member of One United. Banking Black helps to support the community and strengthen us as a people. We are more competitive in this economy when practicing group economics like Banking Blank. We suggest One United Bank, the largest black-owned bank in the U.S. So even they suggest One United. All right, so real important for this was, for me, when it says we are more competitive in this economy. And that's what I'm saying. When you are not competitive in this economy, you will not get justice. So one of the things that we don't know about when our people get harmed and they get dealt an injustice, one of the reasons we don't get justice is because our lack of economic power.
Right.
You have to have economic power to be able to say, I'm going to hurt this economy in this way if you don't treat my people the right way. And everybody can do that except us. White people can hurt the economy, Asians, Arabs, it doesn't matter. We can. We simply don't do it because in the words of the late Baba, Dick Gregory, black people have a very short memory.
Yeah.
Okay? That was Dick Gregory's words. He always would say black people have a short memory. We're only mad about something for a couple minutes.
Or quick to forgive.
Quick to forgive. Quick to forgive. And when you get into understanding how economic power works, you don't have to worry about forgiving anybody. You simply let them know if you don't give us the justice, if that officer isn't prosecuted, if that person isn't held accountable for the shooting, so forth and so on, this is what we're going to do.
Pulling out.
We're pulling out. We're going to hurt you economically. So group economics is a way that we can strengthen ourselves to be more competitive. And when you're more competitive, you will get better results when injustices are dealt to you.
Then there's no violence. You know, at the end of the day, we think that by having a violent protest is going to get things done. First of all, we tear our own neighborhoods up.
Right.
Oxymoron. I don't get the logic of that. Or we tear the mom and pop stores up that's been giving you food for the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. So at the end of the day, that right there alone is we hit them where it hurts. You know what I'm saying? When you hit a person and take their money from them, and it makes them second guess like, should I have done that?
Right. Economic strength.
Even though we might have hurt them hard or put a dent into the situation, we let them know at any given time, your threats don't hurt us no more.
Right.
We have power to pull a rug from upon you if we want to.
Absolutely.
So this needs to be done so we have an understanding that we have power as well.
This is a society that's based on money.
Absolutely.
You know, so when you can have economic power and change someone else's economic power, they're going to give you results.
Especially if they don't want to go broke.
Right, exactly. They don't fear us protesting and wilding out. They got ways of handling that. We need to dish them out something that they're not used to handling, which is black people saying we're pulling our money away, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about trying to get an invite to sit at the table to have discussions if you pull your money away. They'll call you up and invite you to come have that sit down. Can we work this out? Can we work this out? You know, so group economics is so much more powerful than what we could ever even imagine. And we're going to keep on pushing on it. Black Body Man's going to be here. The brand is going to be here. And we're going to keep on teaching about group economics because we want to empower our people. It's not about having any hatred or animosity to anyone else. Though, if you do, I'm sure they earned it, right? But that's not our focus. Our focus is on group economics and positive conversations that can help stimulate a different thought process.
Yeah, and the point I want to make is that just because we support our own, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
Don't make it more than what it is. Where you say, well, this person is not this. It's not about who, what, where, why, and when. It's about us as a people having the same ownership as they have.
Right.
Like he explained earlier, if the Asians take this from us, that'll shut down a lot of little restaurants here and it'll mess us up. It'll put a dent in their pockets.
Right.
So therefore, there's nothing wrong with us practicing the same methods that they're doing.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt anybody.
I just had a luncheon with a friend of mine. Shout out to Dan McClure, Dan the T-shirt man. And Dan's a white guy, you know what I mean? We both from Happy Grace, and he's got T-shirts, I got T-shirts. And, you know, we had a discussion on certain issues that are going on within the society, how things were when we were younger, so forth and so on. But as a white person, he needed me to give him clarity on a few things. So one of the things that we discussed was pro-black, you know what I mean? And I educated him, and this is for black people as well. Pro-black does not equal anti-white, okay? I'm gonna say that again. Pro-black does not equal anti-white. Now I wanna tell you why people think it does. Why white people think it does, as well as why black people think it does. The reason why both sides think pro-black equals anti-white is because pro-white has always equaled anti-black. See how that works?
Absolutely.
Pro-white has always equaled anti-black. So because of that, when people hear pro-black, they think it means anti-white. But I'm here to give clarity on that. Pro-black means pro-black, period. And as far as even white people thinking that it means anti-white, I say get from beside yourself. It's not about you at all. It's about us. Okay? So the fact that you even think that us being pro-black has something to do with you means you're getting beside yourself.
And it's guilt.
Yeah, we're not focusing on you at all. You know, we're saying that it's about supporting blackness, you know, and trying to get us in a better position where we can be more competitive with you, and we can be more competitive with the other nationalities, ethnicities, races, whatever you want to call it. So again, pro-black does not equal anti-white. Pro-black equals pro-black. That's it.
And plus the thing about it is that if you are beating on something for so many years and they finally get a mindset where they're not going to take it no more, the first thing you're going to think is they're going to do it to me.
Right.
So that's when a person say they're pro-black. Oh, so are you going to hurt us? What do you mean?
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's like we want to get our people to understand.
Sure.
We're standing out amongst them in the front now.
And we want to get you comfortable with the word black. You've been trained not to be comfortable with that word black. Everybody gets a little uncomfortable when the word black is used, whether it's black people, white people, whatever. And that's why we have Black by Demand at the Black by Demand radio show, so you can see it's about positivity. But stay with us. We're up on another break. We'll be back after this. It's the Black by Demand radio show. We'll be back.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. It ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the past over. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me that let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save you, the weed too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry fakers, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patients run that, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't used to sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm stacking green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king when chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them trash and then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, man, like if I got it, then you got it. Yeah, man, but if I don't got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You wanna start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Ready, brother? Welcome back to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Thank you guys listening. We're talking 13 ways practice group economics, and we were just moving on to number 9. But shout out to my cousin Gary Brown. Appreciate that comment, cuz. Gary says, thank you, cousin, for clearing that up. Been trying to explain this to some people for years. Yes, I trust me, I completely understand. I'm glad I was able to convey it in a way that, people may finally have a little clarity on the whole pro-black thing. It's a little selfish for other races to think that it has something to do with them. Please, we're not even thinking about you. It's got nothing to do with you, right?
Let me give a shout out to Sonya. Sonya, she's talking about the Susu again, and she also explained how she started an account with United, One United Bank. It's black owned, so it's Harbor Bank on Fayette.
Yes, Harbor Bank is the only black owned bank right here in Maryland, in the Baltimore area. So that's a good one to join. One United is something you can join online.
Absolutely.
Their largest location, I believe, is in Atlanta. Okay. All right, so let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is crowdfund to raise capital. Many of us have mistaken soliciting online donations for crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or a venture by raising many small amounts of money from a large number of people. In exchange for contributing to the crowdfunding, you must be willing to give the donors something. Again, you don't get away with just collecting up donations. Okay, so Black Bottom Man, we do a little bit of crowdfunding. Ours is through Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD to be a part of our crowdfunding. And just like it explained, it's about giving little amounts of money, but getting that from a lot of people.
Right.
So we only ask a minimum of $1 per month. So you have $1 come off your debit card every month. Now, if you're a big wig, you can do $5, $10, or $15, or whatever number you choose. But we just in general ask for $1, and that's a form of crowdfunding.
Right.
So if we get 100 people to do that every month, it's $100 towards the BBD radio show, towards the Black Bottom Man brand. So this is what crowdfunding is all about, and we found that Patreon is a pretty good way to do it. And like it said, you have to give them back something in return. So what we give is access to what we call the patron-only feed, which contains things that you don't get on the radio show, and can only be accessed by those who are part of the crowdfunding. Those who are patrons is what they're called, So yes, that's patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD, and I will actually write that in for you guys. Give me a second here. Are you familiar with any crowdfunding at all, other than GoFundMe? Because that's crowdfunding too.
Yeah, that's all you really pretty much see. GoFundMe or the birthday things,
Right. Yeah.
You see a couple of them, but I was never really interested in, giving my dollars to something I really don't know about. I don't put my money in something I don't know about.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. A lot of charities that we participate in when we at the counter, you want to give $1 to Pets in Need, you want to give $1 to this, $1 to that. I often don't do it because I've done a little research on what they do with that money, and they don't help us with that money. That's the best way I can say it.
That's all you got to say.
Right. They're not helping us.
I've seen like a lot of people who also got out to get people to donate, and then you see these individual people on TV they was looking dusty last week. Now all of a sudden they shined up.
Good.
Good. But not everybody's like that. I'm just making a point that you have to be very careful in giving your money. There's nothing wrong about even if this was me, research me. Make sure that I'm the person that you can donate money to, and it goes in the right places.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And the same, like I said, when you're at the counter and they ask you for $1, ask them what it's about. I'm gonna be blunt with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The last time it happened with me, I was inside of. I wasn't getting anything. I was inside. What's that little spot? Pan Asian or something like that. She wanted to know if I wanted to donate. I said, well, does any of this money contribute, go to black people? She's like, not that I know of. I said, okay, well, thank you. And no, I do not want to donate. I appreciate your honesty, though. She was like, not that I know of, All right, well, I won't be donating. And that's the thing that a lot of us don't know. My personal opinion is that us as a community of people, we're very generous. Black people are very generous. We're very easygoing, contrary to popular belief. Because if we were what they claim that we were, we would have been attacked y'all for slavery. Okay? So we just wanted to move on with our life, and that's how most of us still are to this day. We just want some peace, right?
Right.
But you know, when it comes to donating, we're very generous. So a lot of times, if you ask a black person for $1, you know, you want to donate to this, donate to that, often we do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what we are unaware of is that the people who are behind it are not using any of the money to help your people. I don't care if they put a picture of a black child on whatever they're asking for donations for. It's a decoy, you know what I mean? It's to draw in the black dollar. So we give away a lot of money to people who don't use it to help us. So when I made that research and discovery, I stopped doing it because I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, and that's what a lot of us do, you know what I mean? But when you find out, you're giving it to criminals, you know? A good one was the yellow Planet Aid boxes. Remember those on the corner? People dumping clothes in them? Yeah. And turns out it's like some racist dudes from Denmark or something like that, right? And black people been giving them clothes for years.
Oh, I remember what was her name? She used to play on the Archie Bunker show. She used to be out there in Africa all the time. He used to be sending 50, 60, 70 cents or whatever. They ain't seen their penny.
Right, exactly.
And that's why I ask questions about, like, I don't just give money away, especially the money I don't have. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you just ask the questions. Nothing wrong with asking a question.
Yeah, ask a question. Ask, does any of this money actually get used to help the black community? And if you're dealing with an honest person, they're going to tell you they don't know, or they're going to tell you no. All right, number 10 is build a barter system within your community. Money isn't always necessary to make the economy work. In fact, the definition of an economy is the wealth and resources of a county or region, especially in terms of production and consumption of goods and services. If you have a product or service to trade for other things you need, don't be afraid to negotiate. Barter system. This goes way back in the black communities. We always had some type of barter system going on.
Absolutely.
The last time we went over this information, I think I revealed this part as well. I was actually shocked to find out that there's a barter section on Craigslist. Did you know that?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Craigslist has a barter section. If you click on the barter section, there are people on there with items that they're trying to trade for other items. And then there used to be a television show on, it was either the Learning Channel or Discovery Channel, where that's all the dudes did was barter. So he would start off with one thing. So he would say, I got this cell phone. My goal is to have a John Deere tractor by the end of this bartering.
Yeah.
Right? So he takes the cell phone, they try to find somebody to barter something for the cell phone. Somebody might give him a bike. You get what I'm saying? He take the bike and then try to barter that off into something else.
Right.
And then by the end of the show, he's got a John Deere tractor. Right? And, you know, of course, it's television. Works a little easier with script, you know. But you get the point of what the show was trying to demonstrate.
Absolutely.
You know, so when I went on Craigslist, because that's when I first found out, actually watching that show. And I would hear him say to her, well, go on Craigslist and see. And I'm like, Craigslist? Like, it's a barter system on Craigslist? Immediately go to Craigslist. There's the word barter. Click on it. People on there with everything under the sun.
Right.
Cars, bikes, furniture, dirt bikes, whatever, saying, hey, look, I want to trade this for something. This is what I'm trying to get. If you got this, I'm willing to give you that. You know what I mean? So forth and so on. I was impressed. Because you do tend to think money is what you need for everything. You get what I'm saying?
See, the money now in the early times where they would do certain trading. It's pretty much what it is, trading. I'll trade you this for that, this for that. But the money came into play where they can control our dollars now. You know what I'm saying? So where you might have value inside your household, but if it don't sell, what are you going to do?
Right.
So that's when the money pretty much comes into play.
Yeah, capitalism. If you could imagine, you know, say you go back in the day, right? And say you make coffee mugs, right? And then there's another guy, he makes coffee mugs, but you make the short ones and he makes the tall ones. You put a certain design on it, he puts a different design on, right? And then it's other guys who make coffee mugs like you, but they put their design on. They do a little different handle. So I can get your coffee mug by trading you my coffee mug, right? But eventually someone thought to themselves, well, I'm going to do that with everybody. So we got 10 people that do it. I'm going to trade all 10 of them my one mug, and I'm going to get each of their mugs. Now I got 10 different mugs plus my one mug. And I'm going to sell their mugs.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
At a higher price.
Right, at a higher price because they bartered it, right? So you just got it by giving away one of your mugs. You make your mug yourself. But now you got something to put in the window and say, hey, you know, you can come by You know,
Excellent.
this, So, you know, capitalism was born out of, you know, bartering, in my opinion. You know, don't quote me, but, you know, that's how it kind of came to be. So, yeah, barter system. I think we did more of this when we was children, probably than anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Trade that G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Right.
You know, so you can get, what would you get for that back then? Maybe a Tonka truck.
Yeah.
Let me get, well, you got 2 Tonka trucks. I'll give you my G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You let me get that Tonka truck.
Now, I play this Nintendo. I'll give you the Nintendo for that Sega you just got.
There you go.
You've been playing that Sega for about a year now. Got this good old Nintendo here.
Nice barter system going on. So yeah, if you got things you want to barter, make sure you go to Craigslist on barter on the barter section, and also I think Let Go has a barter section.
Yes, it does.
too.
They have a commercial for it and everything.
Yeah, Let Go. I've made some money off of Let Go.
The guy put the he put the lawnmower on the counter, also boom, and bust into some money.
Right. Yeah. I've made a little
that.
money off of Let Go. Of course, I sold the items that I sold cheap. You know what I mean? And I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. My proudest moment was I came across a sister who had a 10-year-old. She had never been able to get him a PlayStation, so I gave her my PlayStation 3 for a small fee. It was like, I think I gave it to her for like $1.50, right? PlayStation 3, 4 controllers with like 22 games. You get what I'm saying? And she was thrilled. You know, she was so happy. She almost started crying. So my son's gonna love this. And, you know, I had the hot games. I had 3 or 4 Call of Duties in there, 3 Mortal Kombats. You get what I mean? And you know, it felt good. You know, I couldn't give it to her completely free. You know, but she probably got $600 worth of gaming.
Right.
If not
controls
more.
alone were like $250 a controller.
Right. You know.
So you know.
So yeah, so that felt pretty good. All right, let's move on to number 11. So number 11 is changing your buying habits. It can be convenient to track down black businesses that provide the goods and services that you are looking for. It can be inconvenient, I'm sorry. Practicing group economics means changing some of your buying habits to benefit your community. For instance, rather than using Google to find a business that has what you want nearby, use a black business directory. Rather than shopping in physical stores, use the internet to find black sites and shop for items that you need, such as blackbydemand.com. This reduces the need to run out and buy things like toilet paper at the last minute. You may have to drive a little further, spend a little more, but the return on the community investment outweighs the inconvenience. So this is what we're talking about with the black directories.
Right.
You may have to inconvenience yourself a little bit to find black businesses. You know, whether you're searching through Google or going through your neighborhood or talking to other people to see if you can locate one. But the fact that you do that and you're practicing group economics, you know, the inconvenience,
It'll be a win.
Right, it's a win. You know, the inconvenience is outweighed by the impact that you have on your community.
And I also think that I've seen people from Maryland drive to New Jersey, drive to New York, tank full of gas to go get a couple shirts.
Sure.
So if it takes you 10, 15 minutes to get on
D.C., get my hair cut, or I was traveling to West Baltimore from Harford County to get my hair cut. So yeah, sometimes you inconvenience yourself a little bit, but it's for the betterment of the community. All right, yeah, we'll make it through this. Number 12, hire black. You know, I like that one. In her book, The New Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander teaches us that one of the aims of the new era of mass incarceration is to prevent blacks from entering into the job market. By hiring our own people, you can give an opportunity to a member of the community that may not have had a chance to prove the talents in the job market. While it's not easy to train and retrain employees, if you're willing to put forth the effort, it will pay off in the expanding business and overall improvement in the condition of our people. All right, hire black. Some of the advantages of that is exactly what she mentions in her book, which is we can relate to each other's situation.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So, you know, with us being black people, I don't have to always go off of your background check. You know, I can talk to you directly and I can get a feel for if you worth me taking a chance and letting you become a part of my company and doing something versus being in front of people that's going to strictly go off guidelines and just say, hey, you seem like a nice guy. Unfortunately, I can't bring you on.
And they got the little law. They say they can't be what's the word for it? I'm gonna say diverse because of your skin color. It's a lie.
Right.
It's a lie.
Absolutely.
What they'll do is they'll tell you that they can keep the job for this that you're not qualified, even though you have all the qualifications of this job.
Right.
They can say you're not qualified, or we came across another person who's more qualified.
Sure. And I think it's horrible that you can be incarcerated in prison, basically working, excuse me, for crumbs. And the work you're doing is to help produce products for, say, like Target, right? You're in prison. You're an expert in this. Been doing this for 8 years, right? You know all about the Target products, right? Make their stuff. Then you get out of jail, go get a job at Target. They say, you can't work here, you're a criminal, right? And you thinking, I've been making y'all products for 8 years in jail for 22 cents a day.
Yeah.
Now that I'm free, I want to get paid to do this properly. And then Target says, hey, you know, we can't bring you in here. So it was okay for you to make their products while you were incarcerated.
Absolutely.
Now that you're not incarcerated, you're not even allowed to touch our products. That's crazy.
Not even allowed through the door.
Yeah, you can't even come through the door unless you're buying their products. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you
true.
come through the
That's
door and
facts.
buy their products. So I'm saying with us having group economics and supporting group economics, we're going to boost our businesses. When our businesses are boosted and they're making more money, it's more opportunity for us to hire our own people. So when you got that uncle that you know was done wrong and he really wasn't the dude that the court system made him out to be, and he trying to get his life together, we should be able to say, hey, go holler at Brother Mike. He might be able to give you a job working at Black by Demand.
Right.
But I can't do that if I don't get the support from my people already to get Black by Demand to the level where I can hire your uncle.
Exactly.
Right? So that's group economics. This is some of the impact that group economics can have. And even if we're not talking a level of incarceration, what about just talking about our children, period? You know, they go off and get that master's degree. Wouldn't it be nice for that child to bring that back to your company?
Absolutely.
Bring it back to a black company instead of going to a company that's not going to appreciate your effort and your merits. You're really there just to fill a quota, and you're going to have to deal with certain things the whole time that you're there.
And the worst of it is, sometimes it's not even for the quota. You just have to fit the face.
There's the other thing.
You got to fit the face. That's all it is.
Dr. Anderson says you have to be a safe Negro.
Exactly.
Okay, that's Dr. Anderson's word. You have to be a safe Negro. They have to feel safe with you being around. You know, which for us translates into you basically can't be yourself. You can't be yourself. You got to be the way that other people want you to be in order for them to feel comfortable with you being around.
And you have to be controversial towards your own people.
Right.
You can't agree with everything. If you agree with everything, then you're not amongst them. Then that's when they'll let you go and find the next one
How about
who will
that?
ridicule you just so he can keep his job and feed his family.
How about that? How about that? All right, so that's number 12, hire black. That's the benefits of group economics. You can hire your own people, and you don't have to, you know, feel that you are not contributing. You know that you're contributing. So number 13 was learn the fundamentals of economics, entrepreneurship, and finance. This should go without saying, but if you don't understand economics, you are less able to come up and make economics work for you. You don't need to go back to college to understand how economic systems work. You can create your own curriculum by learning from those who understand the subject and have achieved great things. So, number 13 of the 13 ways to practice group economics is learning the fundamentals of economics and entrepreneurship and finance. So with that being said, maybe the next show we'll go over some more finances and economics because we've done a couple of shows on it. And again, I like to reiterate things because you learn things through repetition. So that's number 13. Stay with us. We up on break. We'll be back with the last segment. It's the Black by Demand radio show with your boy, Brother Mike, and my main man, Derrick Woodson. We'll be back.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel up. If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head and I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Work them old, tell them where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell them where the cash. If you play it for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, dog, throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. You wanna do it? Go ahead, do it. I sit around.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Back by the Man Radio Show. In case you missed today's show, we were talking 13 ways to practice group economics. So I'm going to go ahead and recap all 13 for everybody. So let's start with number 1. So number 1 was produce a product or service. Number 2 was open an online store. Number 3 was host community events. Number 4 was use black directories. Number 5 was create community gardens. Number 6 was start making and selling your own clothes and accessories, blackbydemand.com. Number 7 was source black produced products. Number 8 was banking black. Number 9 was crowdfund to raise capital. Number 10 was build a barter system within your community. Number 11 was change your buying habits. Number 12 was hire black. And number 13 was learn the fundamentals of economic entrepreneurship and finance. So that is the 13 ways you can practice group economics. And of course, there are more ways, but we wanted to give you at least 13 to help you get started. I will go ahead and list these 13 on our Patreon account for our patrons out here. So it'll be on the Patreon only feed, and we'll list all 13 for anytime anyone wants to go and see the 13. In case you can't remember some of them, you don't have to watch the whole show again. So we'll put that up for you. How you feel about today's show, brother?
It's pretty good. To me, every show's good, but today was a good show.
I know that's right. Every BBD show's good.
Because every day, like I said, I learn something new every time I come on here.
Nice. That's what we aim for.
But for the people, man, this was a good show to get you aware of how you spend your money, to get you aware how you understand that it's nothing wrong with spending in-house.
Yes.
It's nothing wrong with accepting your people and say, look, I'd rather fix the people than fix someone else's home.
Sure.
Our communities are in hardships. There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with saying, okay, let's fix our community.
Right.
And that's what I got today, is basically keeping our money safe within our own, banking with our own, collabing with our own, and trying to see a bigger picture with our own.
Yes. Again, I'll go back to a conversation that I've had with a particular white person. And, we talked and they were like, well, what about, doing things, that benefit everybody? And I told them the problem with that is, as a community of people, black people, we're not in a position to help anybody else yet, right? Once we get ourselves in the right position, then we can worry about trying to help others. And it's ironic that people tend to come at the black community that way when no one comes at the Jewish community and says, well, what about everybody else? Everybody clearly knows that the Jewish people are about the Jewish people. Asians are about Asians. But when black people say we about black people, it's like, well, what about everybody else? Well, guess what? Worrying about everybody else is why we're in the situation that we're in. We got to reach a point where we say, no, this part I did for my people, right? So the BBD radio show is in complete support of doing something for black people, though we employ everyone to watch because this is a black education. And having a black education helps to dispel some of the ignorance that the other races have in regards to us. You get what I'm saying?
I got a jewel for y'all. I want y'all to pay attention when I say this. You have Chinatown, you have Little Italy,
Yes.
you have Jewtown. You know what we have?
All group economics.
Do you know what we have? The project.
We got the projects.
And it has nothing coming out but negativity.
Yes.
They put things in perspective for them to generate money back to their home or into their neighborhoods. We take pride in something that does not make anything for us. I'm going to say this again so you'll understand it. They have Little Italy, they have Jewtown, they have Chinatown, they have all these different places that you can go to that their money is based on them.
That's group economics at its finest.
Exactly. And we glorify the projects.
Right.
It has no revenue coming out of there and no shots to the drug dealers or nothing like that. And people, like I've been in them shoes before. Am I proud of it? No. Do I do it? Yes.
Right.
But we're taking money from in-house and destroying in-house. Even though there's other people that come through those neighborhoods, we're still destroying in-house. Do you think they're doing it?
Now, when you think about those areas, Little Italy, Chinatown, Jewtown, Koreatown, those are all top-notch examples of what happens when you practice group economics.
Exactly.
Because of their economic power, they could force the powers to be to give them a section of the city, right? Say, listen, this is our section. This is where we put our stores, our things that we want for our community. So that is group economics at its finest, and we just simply have to adopt that. It doesn't hurt to look at the way other races have done things and then kind of use that as a map for the routes that we want to go. So that is completely doable. So I hope everyone who tuned in today had a good time and learned something with us today, and I thank you guys for tuning in with us. Again, make sure you check out blackbydemand.com to get your apparel and become a part of our crowdfunding at patreon.com/brothermikebbd. And a big thank you to all my sponsors today. We'll be back next week with another exciting show. Maybe we'll cover something financial since that was number 13 on the list. And as usual, it's behalf of the Black by Demand team and my main man, Derrick Woodson. I'm your boy, Brother Mike. I'll catch you on the flip side. It's the black side. Peace.
Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you